Overthinking, I'm pretty sure you know these never-ending thought loops. It affects situations and also problems, especially with things we care about, like, what did I say to John last night on the phone? I think it was a bit weird what I said, right? And he must think I'm completely nuts after that. And you try to evaluate, you try to assess what you said, you try to recall what you said and say, was it really that weird? Well, I think so. And so you analyze every single word you told him and analyze the whole phone conversation again and again, but there seemed to be no solution and you're just doing this over and over and over again. And with your goals, things you want to achieve can be the same. All those what-if circles. What if I fail? What if my friends will laugh at me and find this idea ridiculous? And again, it becomes more intense the more we want it. Have you ever wanted something so badly that your mind was going in circles around this topic again and again, weighing the pros and cons, weighing what your friends could say, all those things. Imagine every scenario, but somehow it never comes closer. So here's the paradox. The more we overthink things that we want, the more we actually push them away. Because we never come to the action that would be needed to achieve them. And today I want to show you why overthinking silently blocks the realization of your dreams, stops your manifestation efforts. And I want to show you how to step out of this trap once and for all. So first, let's start with the obvious. Overthinking feels safe. There's always some hidden benefit also in things we don't actually like, but we are just getting some hidden benefit out of it. And this is the feeling of being safe for the moment. And it can also feel like progress because we are analyzing, right? We are thinking about it. Analyzing is good, everybody does it. And when you want to go somewhere, to get somewhere, you need to analyze everything first, right? So you should come closer to a solution. And your mind tells you, if I just think a little bit more, I'll finally figure it out. So it's problem solving, right? But in reality, all you're doing is rehearsing the same thought over and over. It's like running on a hamster wheel. Lots of motion, but no movement and no progress. And here's the problem. You won't go towards your dream life, make your manifestations come true, if you just sit there and think. Even if you think intensely. Because manifestation responds to your state of being, the frequency you live in, the vibration you feel. If you're constantly looping thoughts, what state you are in? Worry, doubt and lack. So even though your intention might be clear, your energy is broadcasting the opposite, and also your feeling. You are not feeling great when you're doing this. At least when I did this in the past, I wasn't feeling great at all. It's a little bit like planting a seed and then digging it up every 5 minutes and see if it's already growing. But not watering it and not doing any action with it, but just digging it up and see, is there some progress? And is this really problem solving? No, not at all. Because problem solving is goal-oriented. Problem solving is analyzing the problem systematically, find a solution, and then finally it results in action. Or maybe if you decide, okay, this is nothing you would like to do, in no action. But there's the decision and the thoughts about the problem stop there exactly at this point. So this is analyzing. But overthinking, it's just draining your energy. It's just thinking about the same topic over and over again. And if you look closer and in more detail, you will notice that the thoughts you have when you overthink are just a little bit vague. It's not just if you're solving a problem and say, okay, I would like to solve this problem right now. You're approaching this problem systematically. And after a while, and this is also the difference to overthinking, problem solving has an end. There's a beginning, there's a phase of thinking, of analyzing, and then you come to a conclusion and then there's an end to it. But regardless if you manifest or not, overthinking makes your life more difficult and you feel miserable if you're doing it over and over again, because it results in unhappiness, low self-respect and self-doubt. A great reason to do something about it. When I did this in the past, after a while of overthinking, I felt really bad. I felt really unhappy, and I said to myself, what am I doing there? But why do we do this? Why is our mind insisting on spinning all these loops, unnecessary loops? So here are a few big reasons. I collected 5 big reasons here for you. The first one is the fear of failure. We think if I prepare for every possible outcome, I'll be safe. I can do this, I'll be safe. But what happens? We get so busy preparing that we never step into real life. We never step into action. And also the fear of the future life can be a factor. Even if it is better, even if your future life will be better than your current life, you might think, will I lose some of my friends? Will my friends envy me? The second one is perfectionism. Are you a perfectionist? If you are, you might think, I can't just think it through perfectly. And then it will finally manifest. I will finally get it. I will finally reach my goal. And the irony, reality doesn't need perfectionism at all. It needs flow. Third one is avoidance. Sometimes overthinking is simply a way to avoid actually feeling the vulnerability of desire, feeling the uncertainty of not knowing. Thinking is safe as long as you do that. Feeling seems risky, so the mind hides in loops. And when you are thinking, as our brain can just concentrate on one thing at a time, when you are thinking, you are not feeling any more feelings that might come along with your goals you want to reach. And there might be some bad feelings coming along with it. It's not, if you want to reach a goal, there might be some hardship and there might be some feelings that you won't say, oh, welcome to them. So this is also some avoidance tactics. The fourth point here is self-doubt. If you're not so much the confident type, this might be a strong factor for your overthinking. You might recognize yourself here. I know I do, because in the past there were times I was obsessed over the details of something I wanted, and I would play it over and over in my mind. Do I really need this? But the only thing that grew stronger was my frustration and the feeling of getting nowhere. And I ended up mentally drained after a long looping session there. And the fifth point, of course, is control. When trying to think about everything over and over again, we have the feeling that we are in control of something, that we are controlling the situation, that we can control it. But we are not in control, because if I'm not doing anything, I'm not controlling anything. So how do we break this cycle? How do we shift from a state of overthinking into a state of problem solving that leads to actionable steps? Here are 6 simple steps. Step 1 is be clear what the actual problem is. If, for example, you want to apply for a job at another company, you will come to the conclusion that your main problem might be the decision of applying or not. And to be able to decide this, you can make a pro and con list, for example. So just weigh the pros and cons of your current company and the company you want to apply to. And in the end, you will come up with this list, and you can weigh every point, and then you can add everything together and come to a conclusion. So if you see most of the points speak for staying in the old company, then you can do this decision there, and if not, do the other decision. So you will have 2 or at least 1 actionable step in the end. So one is applying for the new job in the new company, and also prepare for the interview. and the other will be doing nothing. But also you have to be aware in this case that you might stay in this old company for a couple of months or even a couple of years. So this would be a logical approach for this if you are clear what the actual problem is. And so you're not overthinking, you're just defining the problem and trying to solve it, for example, with this pro and con list. Step 2 is ask yourself, can I influence this problem? Do I have the ability to do this? There's lots of things we cannot change at all. Just our past, for example. Regardless of how we behaved, we cannot change our past. We are just changing what we can do. We are changing our memory of the past. So if you are remembering something and then after remembering something, your mind will store this away in your internal database again, and there will be always some slight changes to it. So your memory of the past is changing each and every time you are pushing some information out of your internal database. This is a little fun fact here. But other than changing your memory, you cannot change the real past. There's more we cannot change. So the weather, for example, or what other people think about us or about other things, we cannot change it. We cannot even know what they are thinking about us. But so even if we are worrying what they are thinking so often and so many times. And ruminating about all those things you cannot change at all and trying to change it anyway just costs energy, and the outcome will be nothing at all. It leads just to us having less energy to use for things that are really worth it. And you will be feeling stuck in the end. So let those things go and concentrate on the things you really can change. And from some of the things you cannot change, you can learn. So what you can just pull out of this is just saying to yourself, better next time. Third step here is awareness. The first step is always noticing. Catch yourself in the act. Ask yourself, am I actually solving something here? Or am I just looping the same thought over and over again? Is my thinking a structured approach? Or is it just vague thoughts of fear, for example, of other feelings you would like to avoid? This simple questions breaks the trance. Step 4, this is grounding. Grounding means bring yourself out of your head and into your body. Feel your feet standing on the ground. Take a deep breath. Feel your surrounding, see your surrounding with all your senses. And this will change everything. You could also do a little walk. Step 5, simplify your desire. Many people are just complicate their desires until they become unrecognizable. So take your intention and put this into one clear statement. For example, I want to feel free at work, and connect to this sentence. And then this is your desire, that's it. Don't add 20 conditions. Don't build a whole rule book of all circumstances that have to fit till you are content with it. The simpler the desire, the easier the path opens. Step 6 is take action, small or big. Overthinking loves paralyze, but action, even a tiny one, breaks the spell. Let's say you want to get a new job. Instead of looping around in your head over and over again, pros and cons and weigh and do this and that, do one small thing. For example, update your resume. Or send one message, send one email. And this action grounds the desire in reality. And suddenly you did something about your desire in reality. The desire is now grounded. And these steps will help to shift from the mental hamster wheel into trust and movement. And here's the paradox of it all. The less you obsess, the more things start to flow. When you stop trying to control every aspect of the outcome, then reality has finally room to surprise you. Overthinking says, I must figure it out before it happens. I must figure everything out before anything happens. And trust says, I don't need to know how. I just need to live aligned now, and all I need is what I want to do, what I want to have. I have a plan here, but I don't need to plan every aspect of it. So I'm just starting here and now, and I'm just starting to go my path, and I trust the process here, and I trust that I'm going into my direction. It doesn't mean that you should stop thinking altogether. Of course not. Thinking is a tool, and thinking is a great tool if used properly. But it should never be the driver. If you're a skilled craftsman, for example, you won't let your hammer dictate what you're doing, and would let your hammer dictate your next project. And my manifestations. As stated, overthinking, of course, results in a set of bad feelings like exhaustion, being angry with yourself, or dissatisfaction. And of course, those feelings will certainly interfere with your manifestation efforts. In spiritual terms, you will enter lower frequencies. Your energy will be lower. You will not be aligned with your goals and your future life. So the spiritual world goes, again, hand in hand with the psychological knowledge we have. And actually, there's no separation between those two worlds anyway. It just depends on your belief, but this is the only separation you can state between the two worlds there. So here's the final takeaway. Overthinking is a comfort zone disguised as productivity. It keeps you busy, but it keeps you also stuck and even drags you down. The next time you catch yourself looping, pause and ask, am I rehearsing lack or am I living trust? So you see, those hidden traps of manifestation can be everywhere, but once you see them, you don't fall for them any longer. If this resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe. And maybe you have an own idea you would like to have me making a video about it. So just tell me in the comments, and maybe can make a video about also your idea here in one of the next videos. And now I would love to hear from you. What is your biggest overthinking, or what was your biggest overthinking habit? Was it or is it fear? Was it fear, perfectionism, or avoidance? Drop it in the comments.